Welcome back to the open air garage. It's 2018. It's May the 13th. It's Mother's Day. It's a Sunday. An opportunity to do something on my bike. So I did. Today's video is an how I did it video of me fitting my all new, brand new OSCO chain oiler. I closely followed the instructions that you can easily download from their site, and this is how I did it. I used the bracket that came with the oiler, installed it with already existing hole to this 10mm M6, M6 bolt with 10mm head. Just bent a little bit the bracket to create a more upright position for the oiler, or a container, I must say, I think. And that was the first part. Next, I slid on the tube onto the container, and I fed the tube straight through the bike. I hope this is clear to you. Next came the installment of the nozzle. The manual states that it should be put on somewhere between 0 and 3 centimeters forward from the center shaft of the chain wheel, rear chain wheel, into the direction forward. Well, so I did, more or less, because there is a bracket here that's stiffening up the chain protector. But there it is. It's just a 6mm hole to be drilled into this piece of plastic, so easy enough. And maybe, I hope you can see it, but there it sticks out. I already had, there's the tube, there's the tube, and there is the tube once more. The tube fed through, so I cleaned the surface, free self-adhering clips. Take the tube forward, and another. Here I used a tie wrap just to give it a little bit more. Currently, of course, I'm on the center stand. This means that the distance here that the tube has to cover is now at its greatest, because the rear wheel is now at its lowest possible position, right? So I feel safe that the tube over here will never be put to tension by suspension movement. So that was almost it. The excess, I mounted it this way. I made it a little bit in an O shape. Well, of course, put on the tube at both sides, and that's it. Ready to go. Now, how does this work? Basic. It's very basic and therefore also very simple. Inside the oil container, now still empty, we have this plunger, and I can activate a little bit of oil, or distribute a bit of oil into the tube by just pulling plunger upwards. Let it go, and we get 2 cc's of oil streaming in that direction. once the container gets empty, this little plug here, this one, is unscrewed and oil is refilled. I'll show you how later. I've mounted this device in this specific position for a very good reason, I think, and that is that the advice is to loop your chain, only when you're driving at very slow speed. In effect, when I'm driving, well, let's say 10 kilometers an hour. But you have to drive in order to loop the whole of the chain, slowly but still. So I want to be able to control the bike more or less when I'm looping. Oh, my left hand will still be at the handlebar, able to control the clutch, in effect to pull the clutch, so that I am disengaging the clutch and the chain is just spinning freely while I'm rolling. And of course I don't need my hands at the handlebar at the right, because I don't want to accelerate at all, don't I? So that's why it's mounted at the right side of the bike, at the position below my knees, where I can fairly easily reach to it, pull the plunger and go again. Now, how often is this needed? The manual says every about 300 kilometers, let's say 190, 180 miles, something like that, in more or less normal driving conditions. You may step up the frequency in wet conditions, or when you're driving very fast, in effect highways or highway speeds or more. But that still remains to be seen, of course. My experience is right now. This is the condition of my chain. It's still fairly new. I think about 3,000 kilometers or something. It's already looking awfully dirty. But first I'm now going to pre-lube the system. The manual says that I am to close with a pair of pliers or something the how you call it, the tube, pull the plunger, loosen the plunger, loosen the pair of pliers, and pump like in that fashion, to pump enough oil into the system until the oil reaches the summit here, and then we're done. But of course it started to rain a bit, so I moved. This is the plug, which quite a neat detail, has also a vent hole in it. Quite a neat detail, but of course very much needed, because you don't want to vacuum your oil container, don't you? So this is the oil I got with the set that I bought. So the bit of oil included. The claim is that this bit of oil should reach for at least 6,000 kilometers of lubrication. We'll see. Yes, look. Look, look, look. The oil is already almost near the rear. And it's now dripping on to my chain. So guys, this works, I think. This is the end of the video. See you later.